There's a creeping dread that comes with the forgotten relics of technology, especially those that once captured our most personal moments. VHS tapes, with their grainy footage and flickering images, now serve as chilling reminders of a time gone by. But some of these tapes hold more than just memories. They hold fragments of something sinister, something unexplained. Legends whisper of haunted VHS tapes, cursed artifacts imbued with an evil that transcends the physical realm. These tapes are said to be indestructible, immune to the wear and tear of time, and they contain stories that are not for the faint of heart. Tonight, we delve into the unsettling tales of 3 such tapes, each one a terrifying testament to the fact that some things are better left buried in the static snow of a forgotten past. Picture a dilapidated house, forgotten by time and swallowed by overgrown weeds. It stands at the edge of town, a spectre of a once happy home, now shrouded in unsettling silence. It was within those decaying walls, hidden beneath floorboards rotted with time, that the legend of the first cursed tape began. The year was 1987. A group of teenagers, fueled by curiosity, decided to explore the abandoned house at the edge of town. The house held an oppressive silence, thick with the weight of unseen eyes. As they ventured deeper, they stumbled upon a dusty box hidden beneath a floorboard. Inside, a single VHS tape lay nestled in faded velvet lining. The tape had no label, no markings to indicate its contents. It was an enigma wrapped in aged plastic, and the teenagers brought it home. They huddled together in a darkened room, the air thick with anticipation. As the tape whirred to life, the television flickered, and the screen resolved into a chaotic mess of static and distorted imagery. Then an image began to form, grainy and unsettling. It was a figure shrouded in shadow, its face obscured by the poor video quality. But even through the static, the teenagers could sense an overwhelming aura of dread emanating from the figure on the screen. The footage continued, a disjointed and disturbing montage of images that defied explanation. There were glimpses of dark rituals, flashes of contorted faces, and the chilling sound of whispers that seemed to seep from the depths of the viewers' souls. Then, as quickly as it began, the tape went blank. The teenagers, shaken and disturbed, tried to forget the experience, to bury the images they had seen deep within their minds. But the tape had woven its tendrils around their sanity, and it wouldn't let go so easily. The teenagers, once full of life, became withdrawn and reclusive. They were plagued by nightmares, haunted by the images from the tape. Their laughter was replaced by nervous glances over their shoulders, their youthful energy consumed by an unseen force. One by one, they succumbed to the darkness that the tape had unleashed. Some disappeared without a trace, their fates unknown. Others, well, let's just say they were never quite right again. The tape, as if possessing a malevolent life of its own, remained untouched amidst the tragedy it had wrought. It was as though it fed on the fear and despair it caused, growing stronger with each victim it claimed. To this day, the cursed tape of 1987 is said to be circulating somewhere out there, passed from unsuspecting soul to unsuspecting soul, leaving a trail of madness and despair in its wake. Some say it's just a local legend, a spooky story to tell around a campfire. But those who have seen the tape, those who have felt its icy grip on their sanity, know the truth. The cursed tape of 1987 is real, and it's waiting for its next victim. Unlike the tangible horror of the cursed tape of 1987, the second tale centers around an entity far more elusive, far more insidious. This is the story of the phantom recording, a VHS tape that materializes out of thin air, appearing in people's homes with an unnerving predictability. It always appears at the moment their deepest fears threaten to consume them. There's no pattern to its victims, no rhyme or reason to its selection. It simply appears. A plain, unmarked VHS tape resting on a doorstep, tucked inside a mailbox, or even placed carefully on a living room table as if an unseen hand had left it there. The victims, plagued by their own personal demons, their minds already teetering on the edge of reason, are drawn to the tape like moths to a flickering flame. They feel an inexplicable pull towards it, a morbid curiosity they can't resist. As they insert the tape and the familiar whir of the VCR fills the room, they have no idea they're about to come face to face with their worst nightmares. The screen flickers to life and the footage begins. But it's not the grainy static of the cursed tape of 1987. This is different. This is far more personal. The phantom recording doesn't show random acts of horror. It shows you your fears. It's as if it reaches into the darkest recesses of your mind, plucking out the things that make you tremble in the dead of night, and displaying them for you in horrifying detail. For some, it's the fear of losing a loved one, the image of their lifeless eyes staring back from the screen. For others, it's the fear of their deepest, darkest secret being revealed to the world, the shame and guilt played out in agonizing detail. But regardless of the fear, the outcome is always the same. The victims, their minds unable to cope with the horrors they've witnessed, are driven to the brink of insanity. Some try to destroy the tape, to break free from its grasp. They burn it, smash it, try to erase it from existence. But the phantom recording is impervious to their attempts. It always reappears, pristine and unharmed, a chilling reminder of the powerlessness of its victims. The tape, it seems, cannot be destroyed by conventional means. It exists as long as the fear it feeds on does. The phantom recording remains a chilling mystery, a terrifying embodiment of our deepest fears given tangible form. It is a stark reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not the ones that go bump in the night, but the ones that reside within the darkest corners of our own minds. The final tale revolves around a tape that doesn't just break the mind, it traps it. This is the story of the Eternal Loop, a VHS tape rumored to hold its viewers captive in a never-ending cycle of terror. The origins of the Eternal Loop are shrouded in mystery. Some say it was created by a malevolent entity, a demonic force seeking to ensnare souls within its reels. Others believe it was the result of a forbidden experiment gone wrong, a rip in the fabric of reality captured on magnetic tape. Whatever its origins, the Eternal Loop's power is undeniable. Legend has it that the tape contains a single, continuous loop of footage. It begins innocently enough, a child's birthday party, a sunny day at the park, a seemingly normal slice of life. But as the tape plays, a subtle shift occurs. The colors begin to bleed into one another, the laughter turns to hushed whispers, and the once familiar scene takes on a sinister, almost nightmarish quality. The people in the footage, their faces contorted in grotesque smiles, their eyes hollow and vacant, seem to stare directly at the viewer as if aware of their presence. And then the loop resets. The footage rewinds itself, the colors brighten, the laughter returns, and the cycle begins anew. But for the viewer, there is no escape. They are trapped, forced to relive the same horrifying loop over and over again, each iteration chipping away at their sanity. Time loses all meaning within the Eternal Loop. Minutes feel like hours, hours feel like days, and days bleed into an eternity of madness. The viewer becomes a prisoner of their own mind, their perception of reality warped and distorted by the relentless repetition of the tape. Those who have encountered the Eternal Loop and lived to tell the tale describe a feeling of utter helplessness, of being trapped in a waking nightmare with no hope of escape. They speak of the tape's hypnotic hold, of the way it burrows into their subconscious, replacing their thoughts with the endless loop of its terrifying imagery. The Eternal Loop is a stark reminder that horror doesn't always come in the form of jump scares and gore. Sometimes the most terrifying experiences are those that slowly unravel our grip on reality, trapping us in an endless cycle of fear and despair. And the most unsettling thought of all, somewhere out there, the Eternal Loop is playing, its victims trapped within its grasp, their screams for help lost in the static of a forgotten format. The cursed tape of 1987, the phantom recording, the eternal loop. These are but a few of the countless stories that circulate in hushed whispers among those who dare to delve into the unsettling world of haunted objects. These tapes, with their grainy footage and chilling tales, serve as a reminder that some things are better left undisturbed, lost in the annals of time. They are a testament to the fact that true horror often lies not in what we can see, but in what we cannot explain. But what if these stories are more than just legends? What if, somewhere out there in the dusty attics and forgotten basements of the world, these tapes are waiting to be discovered, their terrifying power lying dormant, waiting to be unleashed once more? And if you ever stumble upon a dusty, unmarked VHS tape, think twice before you press play. You never know what horrors might be lurking within.